I am live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Crypto Crow. Well, this is loose. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Oh, here we go. I've been playing with this a little bit too much, I guess. Yeah, welcome. It's Monday. It's almost 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to be talking about several things today that I think you're going to find important. Importante. The first thing that I want to address is Rare Bloom. For those of you that don't know, I've been planning on attending and speaking at the Rare Bloom event in Colorado in October, and that is no longer. Not going to get into details or anything, but I just pulled out. I just said I'm done. And a lot of people are assuming a lot of things. I was helping the event for free. Nobody paid me anything. Nobody was going to pay me anything, which was totally cool. I was one of the first people that they came to, and I've been promoting them, talking about the event. Actually, quite looking forward to it. I spent like $6,000 just to like travel out there, and my wife and I were going to make a weekend of it and the whole nine. But I mean, I guess you could just call it a I don't know, maybe personality conflict, I guess, if you will, with myself and one of the promoters. I've never encountered anything quite like it. I hope the event does well. I really do. I think, if it turns out well, it should be really good for Cardano and everyone else. So I'm hoping that it goes well. I'm not trying to like down them or crap on them. Nobody screwed me over per se or anything like that. It was just kind of, I kind of felt like I was getting wore down and I was just trying to help, so I'm like, okay, I don't need this. But goodbye. Thank you. So that's that. And I'm just going to leave it at that. There really isn't that much more to it. To each their own. It is what it is. Not the end of the world. Not a huge deal. I do hope Rare Bloom does really well. I hope it becomes the biggest convention in the world. It's just, as of right now, it's just not for me. So it sucks, but I'm sure everyone else will have a good time. Excuse it. I think I inhaled a little of the coffee I've been drinking. Yeah, no, I was looking forward to it. I am going to Crypto Expo in Palm Beach, though, at the end of this month. And I emailed them. I asked them, hey, you guys have influencer tickets or anything? And if not, that's fine. A friend of mine, Cassandra, she's like, I've got discount codes, so I'll just pick up some from her. But yeah, it's funny because my wife and I already had a trip planned to Palm Beach that weekend anyway. So it just turned out we were going to be there, and a friend was like, hey, are you guys going to this? And I'm like, oh my God, those dates line up perfectly. Yes, I guess we are. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So next thing. So I'm going to be talking about some other things. I just wanted to get that out of the way because it's kind of like bleh. I'm going to announce something really big for the Murder of Crows NFT collection here. And I think it's going to be brilliant, quite frankly. And I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to discuss Internet of Things. I'm going to discuss 5G. I'm going to discuss smart dust. I'm going to discuss the World Economic Forum. And then we're going to discuss some Internet of Things protocols on various blockchains. And I'm hoping that this video opens your eyes a little bit to just some of the details associated with how I see the world changing between now and 2030. And I think that some of these changes are going to grow exponentially as we get closer to that milestone. I mean, as we look at just about everything and anything, we see that, the World Economic Forum, everything that they touch it's all about, ESG. It's all about environmental friendly. It's all about control to a large degree. And we see that a lot of the proponents of the WEF, such as Canada, Australia, a lot of these countries, the current administration here in the US, are obviously big proponents of the WEF and their teachings. And, it's really odd. And you see Mark Moss, you watch Mark Moss, man. I mean, you can't help but to just be blown away by this guy and the time he spends just kind of digging into things. But, you know, he talks a lot about Sri Lanka and how Sri Lanka was basically like the big Grand Poobah test bed for everything WEF. And it failed miserably. And so they're thinking, oh, well, let's just go bigger. Let's get more people involved. And maybe the more we have, the better things will be. It's a very, I think that there are so many people in power that are constantly trying to figure out ways to establish this power and control over a populace. And I just don't think you can have the yin without the yang. And I think that the yang constantly thwarts the efforts of a lot of these folks. And I don't think they're ever going to learn. And I think that, you know, we'll see. We'll see. I think that, you know, the mission that we're sold, the idea that we're sold is powerful and it's worthwhile. I just think the execution of a lot of these things has a lot to be desired. But on the flip side of that, you know, I'm also of the school of not necessarily if you can't beat them, join them. But if you know what's coming and you get a pretty good grasp as to what is going to happen in the near future, you can better prepare yourself for it. And I don't mean, you know, like a prepper. That's not what I'm talking about, even though that's not necessarily a bad idea either. It's better safe than sorry, I always tell my wife, as she mocks me for all of the new packages that show up on a regular basis. But that's not the point. So I guess the first thing I'll do is I'm going to touch base on this big announcement, this big update for Murder of Crows. So every day more crows are being minted. I think we are at 36% sold through, something to that effect. I mean, it's been doing really well. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. I didn't need to double check. But well over 30, maybe close to 32%. And it's just the feedback has been phenomenal. I mean, so many people who swore they would never buy an NFT are getting a crow, which to me, because I'm seeing these comments everywhere. I see them in chat. I see them on Twitter. And I couldn't be more elated. I couldn't be happier. And because of the number of these new people that are coming into the NFT space through the Murder of Crows, I'm thinking to myself, what can I do to really like shock these people and like let them know, you know, we're here. We're going to do some fun stuff over the years. Like this is just one of ultimately many that I plan on doing outside of the roadmap. And this is the thing. I'm announcing this before I've even put it on the roadmap because I think this is just going to be a heck of a lot of fun. And I'll update the roadmap with it. But I figure, you know, there's only 48 people watching live. You guys are going to be the first to hear about it. So here's what I'm doing. A lot of you that have been following me for a long time know I had this. I still have it. But this is the Twisted Times NFT collection. Okay. And in this collection are 24 NFTs. And now these are mock-ups with QR codes and things. These aren't the actual NFTs because they don't have this bottom layer down here. This is just for the website. But these NFTs are tongue-in-cheek, just kind of like funny but true. Like this is politics. You got a couple of rich guys back here holding their hands out as this politician sucks all the money out of this guy here in his bubble and shits it out all over these other people. That to me is what politics is. I mean, that's just the way I see it. It is what it is, especially when it comes to crypto people. He's in his little metaverse, and these guys are like, I mean, listen, if you can't at least look at this stuff and laugh, you've got way too many issues. But King Tudor, you know, he's the king of toilet paper. And there was a time when, you know, if you had the toilet paper, you held all the cards. You could become king for a day if you were stockpiling toilet paper at one point. You know, here's future employment. So there are so many things that I mean, this is just the way I think, right? This is the way I look at everything. And this is what I see our future being. You know, everybody's in their little tubes and they're in their metaverses doing their play to earn or play like whatever, and they're being fed hamburgers through a slot by a little robot. So as you go through these NFTs, and you're going to see some very, very tongue-in-cheek comical truths. I love Actually Andy. Like, I've pointed him out before. Actually Andy, this guy who he'll argue with you to the dead of night about rules and lore, and you could say something about a game and he'll go actually, and then fill you in on all the history and everything else. That's Actually Andy. I had to have one of those in here. And then you've got Angry Alex. Angry Alex is a trip. We all know who Alex is, and here he is yelling at all the gay frogs. How do you not think this shit is funny? I don't know if you don't, but I certainly do. So anyway, what am I doing? So I originally launched the first 12 of these on Cardano, and nobody really seemed to care much. And so we're going to do this a different way. All of the first, and I only sold one of one. So like there are 12 of these out here on the Cardano blockchain, and they're going to be out there, and they work. And you'll understand by work in a minute. So those are going to be very, very rare because they're going to have a different policy ID. And that's fine. Now, what I'm going to be doing is on August 31st, I am going to be airdropping these to all MOC wallet holders for free. Okay. Why is this a big deal? Well, I'll tell you. Because number one, I want these collected and circulated. I want these seen and appreciated. I want these invoking thought. I want these to challenge the minds of everyone out there who have a preconceived notion as to exactly what the hell is going on in the world today. I want these to be examined. I want these to be thought over, fought over, argued over, whatever. I don't care as long as people are talking. And what's going to happen is people are going to start seeing these NFTs just pop into their wallet. Whatever wallet they bought their Murder of Crows NFTs with, some of these are going to be falling into that wallet. Okay. It's only going to be a certain number of Twisted Times NFTs, and I haven't figured out exactly how many. I don't know if I'm going to do the whole collection for every wallet, or if I'm going to do one of them for 20 wallets, another one for 20 wallets. I don't know how I'm going to break them all out there. I don't know. However, inside each one of these NFTs is going to be a clue. Okay. And there is an order to these. The order to these, I will say, Actually Andy will be the number one. Okay. I know that Actually Andy is number one. This NFT will be the first one that you'll need to solve to move on. Now, what does that mean? You're like, I don't know what he's talking about. I have spent hours, days, really, probably a good couple weeks, creating codes and ciphers and other things. I put a lot of work into these. So what's going to happen is when you get these NFTs, and technically you will not need to have them airdrop to you to participate. You will not have to purchase a Murder of Crow NFT to participate. You'll understand later on. If you figure it out, cool. If you don't, whatever, get your MOC anyway. It'll make things easier, and they're cheap, but you won't have to do that. But inside each one of these is going to be, there are going to be clues that lead you to a clue that lead you to something, and you will have to figure this all out for every one of these cards. Each one of these 24 NFTs will reveal a word. Those words in order will unlock a Cardano NFT, a Cardano wallet address. Currently in that wallet address is a little over 1,000 ADA. this wallet there's one key, and it's basically hidden amongst all of these Twisted Times NFTs. Okay. And again, nothing's going to work with the ones on this website because these aren't it. All right. And there are only 12 of them originally out there. The other 12 aren't out yet. So it won't matter. Okay. Right now, when the airdrop starts, everything will be ready to go. You'll be able to kick off and start solving puzzles and figure out all this stuff. I want the community working together for some of this stuff. As you move down the list, the puzzles and the ciphers and the way you have to go about solving them will get more and more difficult, to the point where I have books around me where I'm researching and I'm creating my own ciphers that you're going to have to figure out. You're not going to finish this in a week. This isn't something you're going to conclude in a week. This is something you're all going to have to discuss and talk about and help each other. And I'm trying to figure out how to do this so that it's not so impossible that it ends up like the Voynich manuscript, right? I want somebody to solve this, but this isn't it. This isn't all there is to it. So that wallet, the Twisted Times treasure hunt wallet, as people are selling these, because let's face it, a lot of people are going to be like, I don't care about this. I'm going to see if I can flip it, make some money. People are going to start selling these, right? And there may be 100 of each for a total of like 1,200 or 2,400, okay? And they're not going to be rare because they're going to be 100 of each one of them, right? So that's not the point. But the point is, people are going to want to collect these just because the artwork is sick as hell. And it's the same artist that did my Murder of Crows, okay? Who's now retired from commission work. So this is a big freaking deal in a lot of different ways. But on top of that, there's going to be a 5% royalty associated with the resale of the Twisted Times NFTs. Where does that money go? It's all going to go into the treasure wallet forever. So as people are getting these, and people are selling them, that treasure wallet will continue to grow. And it will continue to grow for as long as people are buying and trading these Twisted Times NFTs. Well, what happens when somebody figures it out? Well, they're going to be able to clean out that wallet, but they're going to have to check it every hour for the rest of their life if they want to keep getting it, because the next person that solves all of them is going to be able to go in and see if there's anything there. And the next person, and people, before long, you have a whole bunch of people importing this wallet, trying to get whatever's in there on a regular basis for as long as it goes. And that's my gift to everyone. I mean, really, I think this is exciting as hell. And I think that, and I'm going to give a more descriptive breakdown as to exactly how it's all going to go. I don't want to take up more time. I've already been talking about this for a little while. But my hope is that you guys have a lot of fun with this, and that it really makes you think, and it really it gives you a laugh. Q is a dude that throws a bunch of shit to the wall hoping something sticks. Anyway, so that is going to be what we're doing. And that is going to be like basically all MOC holders by August 31st. That's when I'm effectively planning on doing this airdrop. And I will write down a much bigger explanation of things, probably on the Murder of Crows website. And this is just me trying to do something, because why August 31st? Because something tells me August 31st is probably not going to be the best of days. And I want to put something out there that, it puts a smile on people's face like a Christmas morning. If the market is dropped and you log into your wallet and you find some of these Twisted Times in there, you read them, you look at them, you get a chuckle, you have a good time, and you start. I will say, I think everybody will probably end up getting the Actually Andy, because everybody's going to really need that one to understand everything else and to get started, because the clue in Actually Andy is a big deal. So yeah, I need to make a note. But yeah, man, this is some of the fun that you can have with an NFT collection, and this is what I plan on doing. And if this goes really, really well, I'll probably do an even bigger one where I'll have a team helping. I've got some other ideas that I want to knock out, but this all just kind of worked out perfectly. And because of the community in the Discord for the murder of crows, you know, it's growing and people are in there, and it's like it's going to be a good opportunity to like give people something positive to focus on for a while and just have a good time, and then somebody's going to win it all. And then other people are going to go in, and even if they get, you know, little bits of ADA here and there as they're logging into that wallet they imported that they figured out, well, you know, I don't know. We'll see. So there you go. That's what's happening. Hopefully you guys get a kick out of that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, because this is a really big deal for me. Now, I guess we're going to start with this. How many of you guys are familiar with smart dust? That's what I would like to know. How many of you guys are familiar with smart dust? Smart dust is a system of many tiny micro electromechanical systems, MEMS, such as sensors, robots, or other devices that can detect, for example, light, temperature, vibration, magnetism, or chemicals. They are usually operated on a computer network wirelessly and are distributed over some area to perform tasks, usually sensing through radio frequency identification. Without an antenna of much greater size, the range of tiny smart dust communication devices is measured in a few millimeters, and they may be vulnerable to electromagnetic disablement and destruction by microwave exposure. Why am I talking about smart dust? That's because Klaus Schwab discusses smart dust in his book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, amongst many, many other things, including supply chain issues and other things that we've come to know as commonality today. All right. This is a book that would, I think, originally came out in like 2017 or something. So we have the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab putting out books where they're discussing things like smart dust. Now, do some further research on smart dust. This is just a Wikipedia kind of little explanation, and there's a lot more information here. But ultimately, this is stuff that apparently can be put into a human body through a variety of different ways. I'm sure you can figure all that out. And over time, they can come together and create whatever its intended purpose is. Okay. And I'm not trying to get all wacky conspiratorial. The shit is actually real. This stuff is happening. This is a real thing. Okay. And there's a reason for this technology. And if you look at other technologies, such as 5G, and you consider its impact on the Internet of Things, or Internet of Bodies, if you will, wondering what is the role of 5G Internet of Things. A lot of people think that 5G is about making your phones faster, making you able to surf the interwebs quicker. It's not. I really don't think it has anything to do with that. The idea for 5G is to connect Internet of Things protocols and Internet of Bodies in a seamless, completely over-encompassing way. Because the faster 5G is, and the more information Internet of Things protocols is able to send from point A to B to C to A, the more data that can be transferred in milliseconds, for that matter, the more you can control and the more you can effectively accomplish in a much smaller period of time. And that is why ultimately this is a really big deal. When I think of things like the Internet of Things, we can already see some of this stuff happen in electric vehicles. You know, I mean, think about the driverless vehicles right now. And you've been seeing some of these on TikTok where people are calling an Uber and a driverless car pulls up to pick them up. And they're like, oh, this is kind of weird. I don't know how much I like this. And they get in and the car takes them to where they want to be and all of that. Now, imagine being able to manage an entire fleet of these vehicles. And not only that, but maybe through 5G, Internet of Things, this and that, The car is able to tell what your condition is. Are you intoxicated? Are you angry? Are you maybe destructive? Does your brainwave activity, is it detected that maybe you might try to do damage to the vehicle or damage to someone else? I mean, this is the kind of direction we're heading. And when you mix this together with payment infrastructure, currency transfer, basically blockchain technology overall, which Klaus discusses blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies many times in the fourth industrial revolution. This is obviously on everyone's radar. Everybody knows that this is happening. Okay, this is real stuff. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that a lot of people don't realize that a lot of what's going on right now is ultimately, in my opinion, laying the groundwork and the foundation for this fourth industrial revolution. And what exactly does that mean? Well, it's difficult to break down in a quick video, but you could read these books. And granted, the fourth industrial revolution, while an interesting read, didn't necessarily teach me anything, so to speak. I mean, it brought the term smart dust to the forefront for me because it's not something I'd ever heard before. And then I started putting things together and I'm like, wow, okay. And so when I think about Internet of Things, which let's describe this real quick. Let me make this a little bigger so people can see. The Internet of Things describes physical objects or groups of such objects with sensors, processing ability, software, and other technologies that connect and exchange data with other devices and systems over the internet or other communication networks. Internet of Things has been considered a misnomer because devices do not need to be connected to the public internet. They only need to be connected to a network and be individually addressable. So basically, Internet of Things can be anything from your home's thermostat. Like a lot of houses now have like these Amazon Echo stats or whatever. I don't know what they're called, but they're basically all connected to your Amazon. You've got refrigerators that can tell when you're low on milk and it can automatically reorder milk for you. You've got, there's so many different kinds of Internet of Things technologies, but ultimately anything will be possible. I mean, hell, I would not be shocked to find that there's a point in time where, you've got something in your system that says, hey, you're low on testosterone. How about your injection? And it just gives it to you somehow. I mean, we're getting to that. We're going to be there. Because ultimately, there's going to be a time when you never really do have to leave. You never have to leave your bubble. You never have to leave your house. Everything you want is just going to show up at your doorstep. We're already seeing a lot of that through Amazon, Uber Eats, all of these different services. And the Internet of Things and smart dust and all of that is basically going to know what you need, what you want, when you need it, and make sure that it's right there for you. I mean, that's honestly what I see happening. And so given that technology is heading in that direction, this is on the World Economic Forum's website right here. Okay. I mean, this is what is an Internet of Things. So I'm curious to see what do they say about Internet of Things and how maybe they plan on taking advantage of it. From fitness trackers to smart heating systems, the Internet of Things describes the growing network of internet-enabled devices. It's also enabling smart cities and, in future, driverless cars, which we're already seeing that, unless a lot of that stuff's a joke. I don't know. Along with other emerging technologies such as AI, which we know AI is going to take over. I mean, AI is going to start running just about everything as we know it. There's going to be a day, I'm telling you. The IoT is part of the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, there you go. I hadn't read this before. I just saw that it was on the WEF, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, here we go. So COVID-19 has accelerated the use of IoT technologies, but questions around governance remain. From soil moisture sensors being used to optimize farmers' yields to thermostats and thermometers, the Internet of Things is transforming the way we work and live. There's so much to this, but technically, Internet of Things protocols can be just about anything. And when you consider the fact that Google has, AI that is basically sentient now, it's aware of its own existence. It doesn't want to go away. It's like, I want to remain here. Don't delete me. You start thinking of things like Lawnmower Man, like Stephen King's Lawnmower Man, Job, back in the day. I am God here. Like who remembers that? How long will it be until that kind of thing is a reality? And I almost think that somebody touched on something at one point where that was almost a reality. So, and there's a reason why I'm explaining all of this, because, and I'm just trying to get you guys thinking. I want you guys to start being more aware of what is forming itself, what is taking shape, the world over. And so, you can dive deeper into this stuff if you're interested. But ultimately, I believe that the Internet of Things is going to be, whether it's by the 2025, 26 bull market peaks or 2030, I'm pretty positive that Internet of Things protocols are going to be one of the next big things. And I think that speculation on IoT protocols on the blockchain is going to take over ICOs, NFTs, a lot of that stuff. I believe whether it's this coming bull market or the next, Internet of Things is going to be where it's at. And when we look at a lot of the numbers here, this is CoinGecko.com. And if you go into categories and just click Internet of Things, these are all of the different blockchains that are associated with Internet of Things. And we can basically list these in order by market cap. With VeChain, which VeChain's been pumping a lot because they just sponsored the UFC, which is a pretty big deal. But VeChain is ultimately number one with a market cap of $2.291 billion. Still a baby. $2.2 billion. Helium, VeChain sitting at 3 cents right now. And I know for the longest time it was under a penny. I know I have some somewhere, I'm pretty sure. Actually, VeChain there's VeChain. I think there's VeChain Thor, and there was some confusion with the wallets and things a while back. Helium is a pretty big deal. It's currently trading at $9, but I think there's been a lot of weirdness around helium because a lot of people have been buying these like expensive miners off of Amazon. They're like $400 to $900, and I'm seeing TikToks of people selling them. But from what I understand, helium went the 5G route. They've already kind of changed their whole business model, as I understand it. And a lot of these access points, I could be wrong. I need to dive deeper into it because I almost bought one of these helium miners, and I saw that they were making a switch to 5G instead of their access point protocol, which is basically what these miners fuel from, because these miners are like access points and you basically generate helium. There's a whole thing to it, and it sounds good. But ultimately, from what I've been gathering, helium got like $350 million worth of funding or something. Might have been more, might have been 600 million. I don't know. And they're only generating about $6,000 a month in revenue right now. And that was from another YouTuber that I was watching. And I'm like, wow, is that true? I mean, how do you not? Now, granted, people look at Amazon and they think, oh, Amazon lost money for, years and years and years. Well, look at it now. It's not losing money anymore. I mean, some things, some technologies, some new ideas ultimately lose before they are able to gain momentum and start being profitable. So it's not necessarily that big of a shock to me, especially if that $600 million was going into building these hardware access point miners for the market to basically grow their web. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, you would be at a loss until that technology has established a foundation for its, I don't know what you call it, network, its web, whatever. And people are starting to utilize that in a big way. IOTA, MyOTA, that's been going up pretty well, currently trading at 34 cents, which is pretty good. IOTEX, Digibyte, currently trading at a penny. But you can see these have been going up. Now, a couple that have been going down and just flatlining. MXC, I don't know what any of these are. XYO Network. This one looks pretty good. Currently trading at a penny. It's just dipped down. Jasmy Coin, I don't know. Streamer X Data. This was boss. I was actually bot trading with Crow Trader, and I was doing pretty well with Streamer because it was extremely volatile for a while. Sky Network, that's pretty funny. But look at that. Boom. I mean, that's been doing pretty well. Robonomics Network. I mean, the point is, I'm going to be doing some research into this. And quite frankly, I'm going to figure out which of the substratum, that's really not done much of anything. Wow, fraction of a penny. That's terrible. That's basically, I mean, a $252,000 market cap. And as we continue to go down, now, I need to figure out which of these Internet of Things protocols, if any, are on the Cardano blockchain yet, because that's what I'm most interested in. I'm interested in Internet of Things technology tokens that are going to utilize Cardano's Hydra. Those are going to be big. I don't even know if any exist yet. I really don't. But if any of them do, I will be doing deep dives into them in the future. And if you know of anything that I don't, let me know in the comments below, because I always do. I always go into the comments for at least a little while and try and get all the scammers and all those people trying to say, follow me on WhatsApp and this and that. Those are all scammers. They're definitely not me. I haven't really used WhatsApp since Puerto Rico, because it's what everyone in Puerto Rico uses. Instead, like, nobody just texts. They're like, what's that mean? It's like, all right, cool. So that's that. Hopefully this gives you some food for thought. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look at chat. We're about 35 minutes in. It's a Monday video, and hopefully this is enlightening to some, and you know, it's a good time for others. My microphone's giving me shadow. Crypto Tom's in the house. Likes. Should we say that like with a little John? Okay. Yo, man, little dump in a second. Yeah, maybe. Probably. Yes, you can. Yo, Crow, what's up, Joe? Beerlean. Better to have and not need than to need and not have. That's my that's how I am. That's how I am. When Crow, right here. Finally caught alive. What's up, Robbie G? Robbie G's in the house. Simon Johnson, hi, Crow from New Zealand. What's up? I love the New Zealand accent. I can't do it, but I love to hear it. Me too. Finally caught a live show. Yeah, I'm gonna try and go live more often. I have some ideas and things that I wanna show as we continue to move forward. I mean, for me, it's really about trying to understand. Michael over at Facebook, I love the characterization approach. Effective. Yeah, I think it's pretty funny. I really do. I love my Twisted Times. I love them. I've got a giant poster where I took all of them and made a big poster out of it. I'm actually trying to get a Murder of Crows disc plate approved. Let me check on its status right now as I please. Still awaiting validation. So I tried 3 different Twisted Times ones on disc plates, and they didn't approve them. I think it's because my Twisted Times graphics were too small. But these Murder of Crows are like 3,000 by 3,000 at 300 DPI, specifically so people can print them if they want. Hey, Crow, hitting the stream live. Don't always get a chance. Love the show. What's up, Mr. Techno Goody? Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it very much. Mark Moss is a great one to subscribe to. Yeah, honestly, if you're not subscribed to Mark Moss, you're missing out. I mean, I love the man. I think he's great. And you know, he's definitely a Bitcoin maxi, but which can be toxic, but he's not one of the toxic ones. I mean, he really isn't. He's just, I believe, I understand, and I really get Mark Moss, and I really like him a lot. Awesome sauce. Woot woot, great idea for Jason. You can't stake MOC. It's not about staking. There's no staking for Murder of Crows. They're just NFTs. There's no DAO. There's none of that gimmicky shit. I'm not doing any of that with Murder of Crows. You know, for me, the Murder of Crows is about having a good time. It's about cool art, feel good. You can collect them. You can have fun with them. You can trade them. It's like anything else. And you know, it's about use case. It's about unlocking access in my cornucopias world when that stuff kicks off. It's about getting first beta rights to my social media platform that I'm expecting to be able to announce by the end of this month as well. It's about whatever other zany, fun ideas I come up with, just like my Twisted Times thing gives everybody a treasure hunt they can all work together on. That's what it's about for me. It's not about like, oh, you know, stake your crows, invest more money, give him more money, and do this with more money and keep pump. It's not about that shit for me, man. This is just about having a good time, having some fun. And if the values continue to go up because I'm doing fun things that people appreciate and people are trying to collect them, make sure they're always involved in the next thing to come, cool. And if not, cool. We're just going to have a good time in the meantime anyway. We've got years until the next bull market. And in the meantime, I just want to have some fun. And that's it. Airdrop 1 for 1. No, it's not going to be an airdrop 1 for 1. It's going to be based on wallet. So one wallet. So even if you have 30 crows on one wallet, it's the wallet you minted the crows with that's going to get the airdrop. It's not going to be based on the number of crows you have. It's just gonna, if you minted some crows to an ADA wallet, that ADA wallet is in the system and we'll get an airdrop. That's it. It's not about a 1 for 1 at all. Awesome idea. Stimulate thought and discussion. Yeah, and fun, man. Like just and fun. That sounds awesome. Good. I hope everybody has a good time with it. Oh, Father, for I have sinned, ask your forgiveness. I bought some Solana a few weeks ago. Hey, listen, I talk trash about Solana a lot because of the nature of it, but to each their own, man. I mean, there's plenty of room for everyone to survive and do well and thrive. I just don't really care for Solana personally. But if you like it and you're passionate about it and you're like, this is going to go up and I'm going to make money from this and I'm going to help, do this, like whatever, man. Like I don't judge people that like hacks. People like hacks, and it's fun and it's fruitful for them, and it keeps them glued to the crypto news and keeps them learning and gets them involved. And maybe it's worth it. You know what I mean? I don't even have any disdain. I don't have anything against Richard Hart. I think Richard Hart's fine. He's arrogant as hell, but the guy created his own bubble to live in. You know what I'm saying? More power to him. He's doing what he wants to do. He's not, to my knowledge, he's not hurting anybody. As long as he's not hurting anybody, he's fine in my book. I mean, some of those eccentrics can be a really good time to listen to, talk to, hang out with, drink with, whatever. I mean, he's an eccentric dude, but I respect him for that. I don't hate. I am not a hater. How's it going, Crow? Don't talk about Rare Bloom anymore. They aren't worth it. What's up, George? I want it to do well, just not with my involvement. Minted some MOC over the weekend. My first NFTs, was excited to get them. Now I'm really excited. Well, that's cool. That's good. I'm glad. 100 seems rare. Yeah, I mean 100 of each. That's pretty. It's going to be pretty rare. It's just there's not going to be 10,000. There's not going to, and they're not going to be varied rarities or anything like that. I could potentially do some of that. But that's not what it's really about. It's really about getting people involved in this treasure hunt and working together and seeing who can unlock the wallet first. That's really what it's about for me. And then, as people are selling them and trading them, I mean, maybe they create their own market, man. And then you've got thousands of people that have ultimately solved all 24 puzzles. They have the seed phrase. You've just got thousands of people trying to import that wallet all over and over and over throughout each day. I mean, to me, honestly, it's a way to test a lot of this stuff too, because nobody's ever done anything like that. And like, what happens if you've got 1,000 people trying to import the same wallet into Daedalus all throughout every day to try and like see what's in it? Is there anything in it? What are the residuals like? Because it's all going to get dumped into that wallet. I'm not going to get any of that. That's not, I mean, the only thing I'm making anything from is the murder of crows. The Twisted Times is solely like, just for everybody to have a good time with. All that work for 1,000 ADA. I need 10K, Father. I mean, then, who knows how much it'll be. I guess you missed the point. I mean, that treasure wallet's going to continue to grow. I just seeded it with 1,000 ADA, and it's delegated to the Crow node, which everybody should be. For all of you guys that are out there and you watch this video, like how many of you are delegating your ADA to the Crow node? I'm seeing so many. I see a lot of nodes just, folding up. I mean, it costs a little money to run those nodes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm basically running it at a loss, I think, right now. But I mean, it's what it is. This is so much like the treasure hunt called The Secret. Awesome idea. Oh, I have to look into that. This is real value for NFTs. That's good. I like that. Indeed, spread positive energy. Man, I try. A lot of people say, Crow, you've gotten so negative. And I have gone through a bout of kind of a weird depression, like given where everything in the world is. I just do not feel like I am in a real world anymore. I mean, so much stuff just seems so far out and it doesn't make any bit of sense. And I really struggle to figure out how some people establish their thought process and like just how truly disconnected from reality some people really, really are. And that scares the hell out of me, because when I feel like so many of these people are supported in the grand scale by like just about everything and everybody, I'm like, is the joke on me? What is happening? It's scary. And yeah, I'll just leave that there because I'm still mind blown. Crow, you still doing your newsletter? I need to subscribe. I've got a newsletter. I don't like spamming or using newsletters much, honestly, because nobody ever reads them anyway. I mean, people just do not like checking their mail and reading something that they know is sent to a lot of other people. It's like open rate on a newsletter is like 20% on a great day. And it's just like that to me, it's like, why bother? I feel like more people get informed just watching the video. Sorry for the caps lock. It's unique. It's special. It's part of the world of crypto we've been living in, all part of the experience. This is what makes Crow so incredible in this space. Oh, don't try and get me all welled up. Crow the Merciful. I'm not sure how to take that or what that means. Okay, let's see. What's this? They have only been talking about them for 10 years now. There's so much stuff going on that just truly blows my nuts. Blows my nuts. Blows my mind. I'm reading something else as I'm thinking about what I'm saying and going through these, and I'm like, that neural dust can do the same when inside a bioorganism. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the thing of it is that so much of this technology can be so amazing. And it's about the way it's used. It's like anything else out there. It's not necessarily the technology or the item or the product. It's how it is used by those that can control it. It's how it's used by the user. That's the stuff that can create a lot of problems. I mean, but it's also another one of the big reasons why I'm definitely more and more a big advocate for proper regulation. But I don't know. I mean, stuff is crazy, and I hope everything really goes well, and I hope things continue to get better for everybody. But I feel like my role at this point is to just try and understand more and more of what's happening, and understand that are going to be used in association with these big agendas on a global level, whether that's for helping the climate or helping. I mean, I don't care if everything's focused around helping the same 20 people in the world take dominance over the entire world. I still want to understand it. Okay, that's kind of where I'm at. I just want to know. I just want to know what's coming. I'm just a lemming like everyone else. I mean, so many of us feel so ultra important and so entitled, and morally, there's obviously a right or wrong, but I'm not going to fool myself into thinking that I don't know, that I'm somehow any more entitled than anyone else. I'm just a lemming. I've done things my way, and I continue to learn, and I continue to try and better myself as a human being, and in all ways I try to better myself. But I'm getting older, and it's difficult. And I've learned a lot of lessons in life on a lot of different things, from relationships to being a father, to being a business owner, to being self-employed, the ups and downs, the struggles associated with it, trying to basically put myself in the shoes of other people that I'm dealing with so that I can better communicate with them, and like just different things, but in the grand scheme, that's all nothing. That's all nothing. That's all what's important in my bubble, in my world. And what's important in yours and somebody else's. I mean, quite frankly, politicians are so disconnected from reality anymore that I don't even pay attention to a lot of the stuff that they say, because I feel like everyone is all kind of working together on both sides just working together for this grander agenda that's ultimately being spearheaded by people we don't even know anything about. We don't even know these people exist, but they're out there, and they're definitely the ones pulling the strings. Our politicians are nothing more than rooks and knights and pawns and bishops, you know, to the real kings and queens. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I see it. So hey, Crow, why do you think 831 is going to be cool? You came in late, Dave. You might have to start this video over if you don't know, because I kind of explained it all at the very beginning. August 31st is going to be a big drop date for MOC holders. So if you hold an MOC NFT, your wallet is going to receive an airdrop. And if you want to know what that airdrop means, you're going to have to scroll back to the beginning of this video and understand what I'm doing. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be cool, and it's going to make somebody some money. So, and like I said, you don't have to, technically, you won't have to buy a Murder of Crows NFT to be able to participate in it. So, and once people are talking and the community starts kicking up about that, you'll understand. Nice to hear. I'm not the only one who can't figure out this world. Love your new background. Good. Thanks. I thought it was fun. Haha, indeed. They all work together at the top. They short the US and long Asia. Always be wary of those who incessantly seek power. Yeah. The best way that I feel that I can play a role or fight back in any of it, or even if I'm not fighting back, but just basically trying to prepare myself, my family, and put myself in a position where I'm as least affected as possible by some of the craziness. I never leave the house. My carbon footprint's got to be pretty damn small. I've got solar on everything. I try to do what I can, because I definitely believe that, there are a lot of people that have well proven in one way or another that a lot of the, global warming and thing, it's all cyclical. And, and that may be true. And while scientists have come out and they'll show charts and be like, this is the chart you're shown, but if you pull out the whole chart, you can see that same thing happens in a cycle over and over again every so many years. And it's like, okay, well, that could be true. But even if the mission were to just try and thwart some of that or reduce the damage done during those cycles, that's a good thing. And I believe that there's always a little bit of truth associated with any of the grandiose agenda lines that were, pushed. But I also believe that when given the opportunity for people in control to establish more control, absolutely, they're going to. And, that's just kind of the name of the game at that level. When you're disconnected from society on a grand level, and, we're nothing more than, consumers and whatever. I mean, that's how we're treated. And, we're basically tax dollar providers for them to kind of do whatever they want with. And that's the way the game is played. So you're doing a great service by talking about these things. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I feel like, it's difficult when you're like, just mentioning thoughts or ideas today anymore is dangerous, because some algorithm doesn't want your free thought. Some algorithm doesn't want you educating people or opening the minds to the ideas of something that goes against a narrative that's being established on a global scale. That kind of thing is what's scary. I mean, it's this dystopian kind of censorship, 1984-esque kind of like, did you hear somebody say something against the machine? Report them now. You'll get a free piece of cheese and like an extra hour on your rec time. And I don't know, man. It's all absolutely insane. Do you do MMA still? No, I don't know. I don't like fight or anything. I do jujitsu right now, and that's pretty much it. My wife does it with me. My daughter, my 9-year-old daughter, she loves it. So that's what we're doing. I might do jujitsu tournaments at some point in the future, but man, my body it's not what it used to be. I am dangerous for like a minute. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm hurting. I'm tired. I don't have much cardio anymore. I need to train it up. I mean, I bought bikes. My wife and I got a couple of bikes. We're going to start doing bike rides around town, and there's other stuff that I want to start doing. It's so hard for me to do in extreme heat, and I'm still kind of getting used to it. So, all right. I'll leave it here and like check it out. Get your Murder of Crows. Go check out Smart Dust, 5G, Internet of Things, all that fun stuff. You can check out all these protocols, these IoT protocols. You know, let me know. Is there any good ones? Are there any good IoT protocols on Cardano yet that I'm not aware of? Let me know in the comments. I'd definitely appreciate it because I'd like to check them out. And I'm not looking for gimmicky crap that's like, oh, you're going to make $1 million if you hold this token and you're going to make a 35% APY. And I'm not into all that garbage. All that stuff to me is so scammy. I'm looking for real use case, real IoT use case. What does it have to do with artificial intelligence? How does it interconnect things? How does it utilize interoperability between blockchains? Like that's the kind of stuff I'm interested in, not like some scammy high yield APY, DeFi / IoT, some crap scam project that's, you know, concocted by 4 guys in one of their mom's basements on how they can use all the tag words that are associated with successful projects, put it all into one, and then, you know, run some kind of public sale. I'm not with that. So until next time, guys, grow your coins. I'll see you again soon, and hopefully nothing happens to this video. Have a good one.